Get over to First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey. You know what, Ella, it seems like the forecast changes a little bit here and there, but that is why it's important for people to stay tuned because it can change.
And we've been talking about this all week. A small wobble of the track shifts 20, 30 miles. That can mean major differences in what we see right here at home. Courtney just went over it. That track shifting east, which it is better news for Metro Atlanta, means lower wind speeds. We'll go through that. I will tell you, Hurricane Helene, I've talked about this all morning, Category 2 hurricane. The thing that I look for in these storms is the pressure. When the pressure drops, then the winds in the storm, they have to increase to respond to that drop in pressure. 960 millibars is more on the order of a Category 3 hurricane. It's very low for a Category 2. So I think these winds are going to continue to increase today, and we're still likely forecasting to see a Category 3 hurricane or perhaps maybe even a Cat 4 at landfall between 10 p.m. and midnight tonight, very close to Tallahassee. It's going to make landfall in a region of Florida that is not highly populated, which is good news, guys, because the storm surge is forecast to be 20 feet in that area. That is not survivable. So Tallahassee is going to get smacked, and so is South Georgia. This storm will move through South Georgia as a Category 1 hurricane overnight tonight, and it will move through North Georgia as a tropical storm. You can see the track is east of Atlanta, which means the further east you live, the higher your impacts are going to be and the stronger the winds will be overnight. So here's the timeline. Just rain today. Tonight's when we see the wind pick up. Very heavy rain overnight. Very heavy rain and wind tomorrow morning, but we will finally dry out very quickly by midday tomorrow, and the rest of the weekend does look to see big improvements. Looking outside right now, low-hanging clouds. We're sitting near 70 degrees. The wind very light. Here's the kicker. We picked up 3.5 inches of rain yesterday, guys. The ground is saturated. Any additional rain is going to cause those creeks and streams to rise quickly now that we have a saturated ground. If you're headed out right now, there's light rain falling, but there's also some patchy fog, so be aware of that. If you have any last-minute errands to do, get them done right now. This rain is only going to pick up through the afternoon. Here's First Alert radar. Areas across East Georgia seeing a pretty constant rain up into the mountains as well. But look, as we take our Futurecast model, this rain is going to become heavier through the afternoon. By 3 p.m., it is a washout. You can see the further east you live, the heavier that rain is going to be this afternoon, the higher the flood threat. By the time you head to bed tonight, it is pouring down rain. That will be the case overnight tonight. But conditions will be the worst early tomorrow morning. That's when the center of this storm moves over us. That's when the winds will be the highest. That's when you're the most likely to lose power. The good news is conditions improve really quickly after sunrise tomorrow, and essentially by noon tomorrow, we are drying out. So everything will get better after noon tomorrow. In terms of your wind gusts, they're down slightly. It's certainly going to be breezy this evening, but again, it's not until early tomorrow morning that the winds jump. In Atlanta, it's looking like the max wind speeds could be under 50 miles per hour. That is lower than we previously thought. Certainly still going to cause power outages, but we may avoid the strongest winds in Metro Atlanta, the highly populated areas. However, East Georgia, the mountains, you're still likely to see gusts up to 70. I do still expect a lot of us to wake up without power tomorrow morning. But the wind is not the main threat, guys. It's still the flash flooding. We've already gotten 3 inches of rain. We're looking at an additional 5 to 8 inches of rain. So that is going to be a big threat. If you live somewhere that floods, if you have a creek in your backyard that floods, it is most certainly going to flood over the next 24 hours. Good news again, we'll dry out tomorrow afternoon and the weekend looks really nice.